What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I'm going to be reviewing Zack Snyder's Justice League. So this is going to be spoiler-free to start, and then we are going to go head deep into the spoilers. So there's not too much, and I've noticed this from watching a couple other reviews, there's not too much you can say about this movie without starting to talk about some of the biggest changes or the biggest additions, stuff like that. So we'll keep the spoiler-free part relatively short, so let's just jump right in. I love this movie. I really want to stick with that. Now, I don't give, and I know, as time goes on, we have a lot of new people that join both this channel and the main channel. You guys may not know this. I don't do scores. So if I do review, when I do a review of something, I don't give it a score. But I generally feel you guys can tell by my voice, by what I'm saying about it, whether or not I liked it or not, right? I think I try to make that pretty clear. So I love this movie. I don't know what I would rate it. If I had to rate it out of 10, it would probably be up there, 8, 8.5, somewhere up there. But I would go so far to say that I love this movie. Everything truly is different. And I will admit this, I really was one of those people that leading into this, now not so much over the last month or so, but leading into this, one of those people saying, can it really be all that different? Okay, I like Zack Snyder. I don't adore the man. I don't think he's a god, and I don't think that many people actually do, okay? But I'm not all the way up there, okay? I respect the man. I respect the fact that he's able to tell his version of the movie, but I just flat out was not sure how different this movie could be, considering we know, kind of not point by point, but we know big things that are going to happen in this movie. We know where the movie is going to go. Let me tell you, from being a skeptic, I was wrong. And I guess I wasn't really wrong because I was more questioning it, so I wasn't really right or wrong. This movie is entirely different. There are so many new scenes added. Obviously, there's things with the ending and stuff like that. Again, we won't go into spoilers, but at least not right now. There's so many things that are different. There will be scenes. There's only one scene, and I guess I'll spoil this, is the Flash one, is when Batman recruits Flash. That's the only scene that I think almost word for word, every single line, probably every single shot, is exactly the same as it was back in 2017, okay? Every other shot, even if it's close, is still different. So when he recruits Aquaman, that's very similar, but it's still different. And it's hard really to describe it, but just the tone is entirely different. Sometimes the different shots and the different angles, the music in the background. Zack does something to every single scene to make it very different than Joss Whedon's version. And that could even be, again, something like changing the atmosphere, because this is a lot darker, this is a lot more grittier than we got in Joss Whedon's. But no, I mean, look, there's things here and there. Did it need to be 4 hours? There's a lot of slow-mo. There were a couple scenes that I think or even a couple lines where I don't think you need to throw them in there. But in reality, even if you chopped all that stuff out, I still think you get to 3 hours and 45 minutes, okay? So could this still have worked in a movie theater? Probably not, and that does suck. But I mean, this is how he wanted to tell it. And at that point, I was giving him all of these, literally I was giving him things throughout the movie where it's okay, well, this isn't entirely necessary, but you know what? If we're at 4 hours, just go for it. In fact, I would have actually liked him to do a little bit more in certain sections. Some sections still, in a way, felt rushed. Not many, maybe 2 or 3 sections felt rushed, but it's hey, again, you're at 4 hours, why not push it to 4:10 and just give us some, even more, right? So, you'll have those kind of situations, but, man, I don't really know what else to say besides I really enjoyed it. The action is everything is better. There's a couple things that aren't as better. Team dynamic, I would say. I actually did like some of the stuff that they did with the team, even arguing with the team back in Joss Whedon's version. But there's not all that much you can say to criticize it. There were some times where it definitely slowed down. I would say 1 or 2 big kind of moments you could very much isolate. It's okay, this is easily where the movie took a little bit of a break, but you know what, it picks it up, and the last hour, the last 45 minutes, the last hour and a half it really is amazing. And again, there's nitpicks here and there. There's some stuff with some spoilers that we'll get into, but I really enjoyed it from start to finish. I mean, when I watched Batman vs. Superman, I didn't intend ever to watch it again because I didn't hate it. I didn't despise it, but I didn't like it whatsoever. And I did watch it again for his, the extended version, but I really don't ever want to watch that movie again Man of Steel I did like, but really, again, even for that, I really don't care all that much to watch it again. Wonder Woman is a movie, the original, or like the 2017, is one that I would watch over and over. Aquaman I'd probably watch again, but I haven't done it yet. I've only actually watched it once, but I would watch it more. And that's pretty much maybe Shazam. Justice League is one of them. Justice League I want to watch again. Honestly, right now, the only thing stopping me is it's 4 hours long. Maybe I could just pick some of my favorite moments of the movie and just rewatch those. But again, time is really the only thing preventing me from watching this multiple times. I absolutely loved it. I really, really did. So let's go into spoilers. Okay, we'll do a countdown. 3, 2, 1, spoiler section. Okay, so now I guess we can obviously talk about some bigger things. I loved Darkseid, and I don't really even know if that's not necessarily that much of a spoiler because he's in the trailer, but he's not in it nearly as much as a lot of people told me that they wanted him in it, but I think that he got his time. We got to see him do some really cool stuff. We got to see him lose. I know some people, I think, had a problem with him losing so easily in the flashback. I mean, he was facing gods. He was facing literally everybody united more than the Justice League has, in their hands right now. So I really don't have any problems with him losing there. I loved it. I love that. Steppenwolf, my dear Jesus, was so much better. So much better. His reasoning wasn't the greatest of all time. His backstory, kind of like him in the background, wasn't the greatest of all time, but it was so much better. It was so much better than it was back in the 2017 version. The nightmare scene, I know I'm skipping kind of all over the place. I mean, Superman, the black suit, him beating the living heck out of Steppenwolf was absolutely incredible. And I probably should have said this in the spoiler-free section, and I did say the action scenes are better. It's astounding how much better. Okay, the Wonder Woman bank robbery is so good. It's so good now, and I can't actually believe it. And that was obviously very, very early on in the movie where you're like, okay, how can they make a scene feel so different? And I mean, again, the entire tone was just completely changed between her and this group of people. I don't want to say what kind of people they were, but completely different. And she literally murders a guy by throwing him against the wall. She evaporates the lead guy, the Game of Thrones guy, at the very end of that fight. I mean, she is so cool in this, really from start to finish in this movie. Wonder Woman is so amazing. I do want to address this, and then we'll talk about towards the ending and the nightmare stuff. I believe every character was better from the original. I watched Angry Joe's review of this, and they thought pretty much everybody was either even or above, except for Aquaman. I actually really agree with a lot of what Angry Joe said in that review. So if you guys want more of my stuff, go watch all his stuff too, because I do honestly agree. But I don't agree with that. I think Aquaman actually did have a lot more to do and experience. He had a lot more, I would say, background to him in this movie. So I really enjoyed him. Honestly, this, the original, we already liked. I guess, well, you didn't have to like them, but, we already knew Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, right? So they were already established, and obviously that's the same thing here. Batman does get changed where he does rely on other people more here. He's not necessarily the biggest leader in the world, which I do like about Joss Whedon's version that's not here, but I still like him. I still think he's probably at least even. If not, no, he's not even. He's a lot better because he actually does stuff. He doesn't get beat up nonstop and take 10 minutes to fight one parademon, right? So he, I would say, is much better. Wonder Woman, Superman. I mean, Superman is absolutely amazing in every scene that he's in this movie. I actually will say I like Cyborg. Cyborg was a character back then I really could care less about. I would even borderline say I didn't like because of just how little effort they put in. And it's not Ray Fisher's fault. It's not the character Cyborg's fault. They did so much. I mean, obviously, Zack did so much better here. I actually do care, and that's hard. That's because you'll hear people say that. So again, I'm just another one saying it, but let me tell you, truly and honestly, you will care about him much more here. You may not care all the way. He may not be your favorite of the group, but I think you will absolutely care more about him because of all the additional stuff that they gave him. Flash, still kind of hit or miss. I overall do like him. I know a lot of people were kind of very, they either liked him or they hated him back in 2017. I lean more towards liking him. The jokes, some hit, some don't hit, so we have that. And again, let's talk about that ending. So, I mean, the idea of setting up 2 with Darkseid's invasion, we kind of hinted at that. I made a video today on my main channel talking about a Justice League 2, okay? I want to see it. I want to see more of this, and it's not because, and I don't want people to get confused, it's not because I worship Zack Snyder. It's not because I think he is some sort of god or he's the only man who's capable of doing certain things. No, but he's made it this far. This was his vision. This is his vision. This entire thing was built by him. And I'm up for the ride. Even if I'm not in love with everything that's happened so far, I'm buckled in and I am ready for him to do the rest of it. You know what I mean? That's kind of where I stand on it. So when I talk about Justice League 2 or letting him do other things in the DCEU, it's not, again, because I worship him. It's just because he's done this stuff. And while you may love some of it, hate some of it, whatever, he's made it this far. There is a group of people that are very willing to give him a shot. I am one of them, and I want to see what he does going forward. So, the Darkseid invasion stuff, obviously. And then the Nightmare thing. Okay, so I'm going to have a video, I think, specifically talking about the Nightmare epilogue, so I don't want to go too far into it. But what I do want to say is overall, I liked it. I would actually borderline say I loved it. Some things I didn't love. Mara, I'm never going to like Amber Heard. Her acting is never going to be good, stuff like that. So seeing her, it's like, oh, cool. So you're killing Aquaman to have her, and it's just a great thing to give to her. So you have that, whatever. I liked everything else. Now, Joker, here's the deal. I still don't like it. I still don't like Jared Leto's Joker, actually, whatsoever. I would go so far as to say, I don't hate him, but I don't like him at all. I am in the boat, though. I would say this. I will watch more if he's in it. It's not like, okay, if they keep the same Joker, I'm like, nope, I'm out. Because I won't. I'm obviously, again, I'm buckled in for the ride. So I would watch more. But with the Joker scene, I liked what he said, his delivery of stuff, and I wouldn't even say delivery. I would say the info that he provided to explain this injustice world that we are living in, right? Where Superman is evil, everybody's pretty much dead, all this stuff. Lois is obviously dead. Those lines to explain it, I'm good with. I'm happy that he delivered it, whatever. But in terms of just how, I don't know, he definitely looked better. But when he gets going, he really is the same Joker. He's very moderately changed, but he really is the same one. His laugh, I did see Angry Joe say this, where they thought his laugh was worse. I actually do agree. His laugh is just borderline odd here, whereas at least in the other one, I didn't like it, compared to, Heath Ledger, stuff like that, but, he was doing his own thing. He's trying to do his own thing, and you obviously have to put yourself in that role, and you have to make it different, which I respect, and I'm kind of okay with that version of it, but, this is actually different again from that one. So, overall, I'm not a fan of him. I'm not a fan of, the certain line that he said to Batman about kind of an inappropriate line, right? It's just not necessary, but I did like the taunting. Harley Quinn, Robin going back and forth there. Again, talking about the truce card and stuff like that. There were a lot. So while I don't love the Joker, or Jared Leto's Joker, I like the idea of what's going on here. That truce card really seems to be the key, that Batman cannot break that, right? Because we get the hint in the Cyborg Nightmare where the truce card is actually broken. So you cannot break that truce card or you will lose. So, again, these are things I want to see. I absolutely want to see it. Do I think that it'll be done perfectly? No. Do I think the odds are high or low? I don't even know about that, but I do want to see it. So, again, I really enjoyed this movie. There are nitpicks here and there. There's times where it doesn't do everything perfectly. Obviously, there's a lot of slow-mo. Again, some of the music choices are just flat out odd. Other ones I actually really like, though. So it is an up-and-down movie in some respects, but it's better in almost every single way from the original. And honestly, even from it being, again, kind of the same story, it really is so much different that I really do love it. So talking about it definitely makes me want to go see it again, like I said, but again, I don't have 4 hours the next couple days to watch it. So maybe next week I'll watch it again. So let me know, guys, in the comments below, what do you think? What are your you could talk about anything, but you could do spoilers or spoiler free. Let me know what you guys think about this movie in the comments below. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys have the bell icon turned on so you know all these videos go up. And I do a brand new video on this channel every single day. And so I hope to see you guys for tomorrow's video.